morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in internet world. Welcome to another edition of Golden Independence. It's another beautiful day with the Billionaires Play right here in Bermuda. Beautiful times, beautiful times. So yeah, I want to have a conversation about old money versus Bitcoin. Now, before we begin, I want to welcome everybody to the channel. If you're just coming upon this channel, we'll appreciate if you give a thumbs up. We're going to be uploading daily, and talking about the number one asset of the world, Bitcoin. This isn't even financial advice. Bitcoin is a lifestyle. I am 100%, as they say, I am orange peeled. I am orange peeled. Bitcoin is a lifestyle. It's a standard, and I'm all about the standard. I'm at the beginning of the Bitcoin journey. Once you learn, right? I consider Bitcoin like running a marathon, right? Before you run the marathon, if you want to be successful with the marathon, you got to train, right? You got to train. You got to do your training for the marathon, right? So that you can complete the marathon successfully, i.e., you don't collapse while you're running. Some people collapse; they don't even finish. Meaning, so that would be the equivalent of people cashing out their Bitcoin as soon as they go up. Meaning, they cash out all of their Bitcoin, and they regret doing that. I'm pretty sure Germany regrets selling their Bitcoin holdings, right? Just because it went up, right? When Bitcoin went up to 50,000 or whatever, they sold all of their Bitcoin holdings, and they were like, yeah, take that. And now here it is, it's already going up to 100,000, and it's going to keep going up. So from that standpoint, from a nation state standpoint, Germany has collapsed, and the many other individuals in the space that have collapsed as well. Meaning they're out. They were once upon a time, and then they cashed out, and they're out completely. And they're not looking back. Then they're disgruntled, or they're jaded, whatever. But that's because they didn't do the training. They did not complete their training. You got to complete your training, young Jedi, young Padawan. Yeah. I'm glad that I have completed my training, and 2024, I could definitely say that 2024 marks the first step of my marathon journey with Bitcoin. Yeah. May 2024 is the first step of my Bitcoin journey, being orange peeled. I've been in the crypto space since 2017. Yeah, since I've been in the crypto space since 2017. However, I was orange peeled 2024. So if you're in the crypto space and you're not orange peeled yet, don't worry. Just as the saying goes, you got Bitcoin at the price you deserve. You got orange peeled, however long it takes for you to be orange peeled. That's just what it is, because it's a mindset, right? Bitcoin is more of a mindset than it is about actual money, right? I mean, Bitcoin is so much more than money. Yeah, it's the mark of a new era, because like I said, one day, not once upon a time, one day, people are going to be working for Satoshis. And when that day happens, then it becomes a once upon a time story, i.e., once upon a time, one Satoshi, right, was less than a penny. Or once upon a time, a dollar got you 1,000 Satoshis. Once upon a time, right? People are going to be sick of these types of stories out here on the internet. They're going to be mad of these types of videos where people are talking about when Satoshis were less than a penny or a dollar, right? In 2024, and then come to find out by the time 2030 comes, people are going to be working for them when they could have been accumulating Satoshis, converting their time into Satoshis, and then appreciating. Because remember, the currency that we're getting, right, for our time, money, the fiat money is our time in abstract form, as Jack Morris would say, right? In the physical form, right? That's what the fiat dollar represents. The fiat dollar, or the cash, wherever we are, right? Whether we're in America, Canada, UK, Japan, Africa, it doesn't matter. Wherever you are, wherever you exchange your time for that nation's currency, represents your work for your time, right? Well, imagine working for converting some of that time into Bitcoin, where every dollar you're getting 1,000 Satoshis right now. So let's keep that principle of time, right? So when you're accumulating Satoshis, and then when one Satoshi becomes parity to $1, it's like you're buying your time back. Why? Because now you have more time freedom. Now you have more time freedom. Now you could take 6 months leave and still have, and still have your job. You just tell your boss, look, I'll see you in another 6 months, right? Like I said, you don't have to quit your job. You could become a better employee with Bitcoin, right? You could become a better employee, a better, your services could be better allocated to whatever it is that you're currently doing, until you find out what your passion is, and then you could, do that. But imagine appreciating your time 1,000%. That's the opportunity that Bitcoin has right now. Like, consider this: it's the day before a major celebration all over the world, right? Are we really free? Are we really free? Because I see so many people tied to the yoke of this so-called celebration. Like, people are going crazy. I mean, it's peaceful where I'm at, but let me show you. But see what let me see. See, in the back of me is the city, right? If we was to go in the city, in the city, it's crazy. It's all these people on the streets, right? It's more people than usual in the streets, because of it's the last day before stores close for like 2 days. Stores are gonna be closed for 2 days, so everybody's getting what they want, or what they need, or whatever, right? But they're locked in They're under the yoke of this one day, distracted, buying liabilities, basically throwing away their money, right? Throwing away their money. That shows me that, people are not ready, right? People are not ready to be free, right? They're not ready to be free. To me, this is freedom. This is freedom right here. Like I said, when you're involved with assets like Bitcoin gives you time freedom over time, not instant. You gotta be you gotta be in it, right? You gotta stack your sats. You gotta stack your sats. Be humble, stack your sats, and live your life. And eventually people are gonna ask you, hey man, how you doing this? How you doing that? Da, 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 da. How come you're so calm? Didn't you hear that the government is doing this, government's doing that, government's doing this with the pension, government's doing that with the pension? We don't, I'm not concerned. The government could do whatever with the pension, because the pension is the old money. If they're not going to do the right thing, of converting the people's money into Bitcoin, or allocating a portion of the money into Bitcoin, then that's fine. But guess what? They're going to we're going to be, our pension funds are going to do well anyway, because it's going to get some exposure to Bitcoin by proxy, because we're invested in the US markets as well. So if MicroStrategy, right? So if MicroStrategy, which is already involved in the NASDAQ 100, if it goes into the S&P 500, then there's the exposure right there. There's a little bit of exposure. So the S&P 500 is going to do well. It's going to, you see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a little bit, right? It's a little bit. And guess what? I don't expect the people of this country to take the bull by the horns, right? I don't expect the people to take the bull by the horns and push the start button. They'll probably do it maybe in 2026, once all the regulations, once it's really clear what the US is doing, right? Once it opens up in the US and the UK, I have no doubt that the floodgates will open up in Bermuda, where the banks will allow self-custody, or the ability to exchange from different platforms, right? Meaning, like, I'll be able to, download the Strike app, for example. It just won't be America. Like, it will be certain apps, because certain apps I can't download. Like, you see what I'm saying? I can't download apps like, the Bitcoin Way or Sworn Bitcoin. I can't download these things because of my jurisdiction. However, when things start to align in my jurisdiction, because we follow the US and the UK, that's in office, and he starts to do his thing in the first 90 days, I believe that we will do well. We'll follow suit, because we follow the US and the UK. Especially when it comes to, the regulation laws. And if we're looking at having the gold standard in the crypto space, or the digital asset space, not crypto, if we're looking, meaning if we're looking to hold the title of being the gold standard of the digital asset space, we will copy. We'll be very prudent for my jurisdiction, or be very prudent for the people who are in control of Bermuda to copy the Bitcoin Act, or extrapolate what they need from the Bitcoin Act, so that and make it work for Bermuda, right? And for the people who hold Bermuda status, right? People such as myself. So with that said, the time is short. And I believe that time is coming soon, because things happen very quickly in terms of crypto, right? People didn't think that the arms race, or what's the other term, the nation FOMO, was going to happen this quickly, right? People thought that we were years away from having nations fight over Bitcoin, and we are currently at the point where nations are fighting over Bitcoin, the old money. The old money is fighting over Bitcoin. Bitcoin is supposed to be for everyone, and it is going to be for everyone eventually. However, not in the way how people would like for it to be. Meaning, Bitcoin was put out there so that people could be free from governments, and now governments have figured out that they need to have the Bitcoin, and if they get the Bitcoin, then the only way you could get Bitcoin is by working for it. And this is where the Satoshis come into play, because one Satoshi, it equals one Satoshi. So if you got to work for Satoshis, then imagine working, instead of your pay being $100 an hour, imagine, you get paid 10 Satoshis an hour, right? And minimum wage now becomes 1 Satoshi an hour. That's minimum wage. And if you're a doctor or a lawyer or something like that, you could charge 10 Satoshis an hour, right? Why? Because over time, the Satoshis are going to increase in value over time, because it's going to keep depreciating. So when we're doing those transactions, the zeros keep going down. They're going to keep, this is how we get to BitHarvest. This is why BitHarvest is so important, right? So yeah, and at the rate to which the Satoshis are increasing, I could see it whereby within a decade, right? Within a decade, 10 years, right? Within a decade, the people of the world are going to be working for Satoshis. I can see that. At this rate, right? The exchanges will be drained. And all there will be is Satoshis anyway. Very, very little Satoshis, and the Satoshis on the exchanges will just be going. They'll be going through the roof. This is how we're going to be seeing $17,000 dollars for our Satoshis, for the Satoshis that we have, because they're gonna just increase in value, right? As Raul Paul would say, the banana zone. Yeah. Let's give a different view here. As Raul Paul would say, the banana zone, right? We're entering the banana zone of crypto. Yeah, just testing out the view of my camera here. give you guys a little. That's where we are. Like I said, where the billionaires play. So if you are interested in learning more, if you're interested in learning more about this opportunity, you can click on the link below and position yourself in the most rare opportunity of our lifetime, which is acquiring Bitcoin. And getting it for free. Over time, it'll be for free. And then what happens after that is that you become the market maker over time, because people will be working for what we are already mining. I'm going to say that again. People are going to be working for what we are currently mining in our sleep. How about that? Are you ready for that? Are you ready for that transition? Mercy. I mean, for me, that's motivation. That's motivation for me. That's all I need. You see, I can't do that with, or we are not in the position of that. See, the people, the elite, who are in the old money system, that's what they're doing. Whenever they want more money, they could just print, right? Michael Saylor could raise money like that. Raise money to buy Bitcoin. This is why Bitcoin is back up to 95,000. It was just last night, Liz. Just last night, Bitcoin was down 92,000, 93,000. And now here it is, it's back up to 95,000, approaching 96. Who do you think is buying? And guess what? And remember, crypto is 24/7, right? So you got the bank holidays, right? So the markets are going to be closed tomorrow. The markets are going to be closed tomorrow. So, right? Which means Bitcoin is going to go down, right? Bitcoin's going to drop tomorrow, because the U.S. markets are going to be closed. Christmas is over. It's going to be a wrap. Meaning, everybody's money is going to be spent. People are going to be broke, and it's just going to be the corporations. And we're going to witness in real time. Bitcoin is going to take off the station, and we're going to see a very quick run up of 100,000, 150,000 before the new year. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, hey, where you want to be? You want to be with the old? You want to be with the old, or you want to be with the new frontier, making money in your sleep, where you have control, where you have control over your finances? Think about it. Take your time. Think about it. Because with the oil money, we don't have control over our finances. But with the Bitcoin standard, by being on a Bitcoin standard, we are in control. We set the terms. We say how much it is. We will be the new market makers. Do you want to be the market maker? It's either you want to be an earner or a customer. See, with BitHarvest, you position yourself as an earner. With the old money system, working for fiat, you become the customer. Because if you stay there and acquire, convert your dollars into Satoshis, you're a customer. Is that making sense? You become a customer. Why? Because you don't have the asset. We have the future asset that the market will want. The Satoshi is going to will increase over 1,000%. That time is going to come sooner than a lot of people think, right? It's going to happen slowly, and then all of a sudden. And when that time comes, people will say, oh, I can't afford Satoshis. But one Satoshi is going to be one Satoshi. And like I said, we are mining thousands upon thousands of Satoshis, if not millions. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm just documenting my Satoshi journey. Life is a marathon, not a sprint.